Go into this best of two. The two maps between Hellraiser and Stephano, our first matches today. I didn't make myself a referee, but, well, looks as though Stephano already got the memo about these missile turrets. We've seen that today already, these missile turrets causing some issues. This is Ritual Mupi Temple. We didn't get to see this one at all yesterday, so again, great to see it in the first series of the day here. To the bottom left-hand side of the map, our blue Zerg player from Gamers Origin. This is Stephano. And to the top left-hand side, I just feel like my mouse sensitivity is wrong. Okay, well, maybe not. Our red Protoss player to the top left-hand side is Hellraiser. So yeah, Indivix is asking how does it decide what spots Soul and Ufilmer went out of their groups. So because the maps were tied, because it was only between second place and third place, which is just a seeding difference, we just did it on matches. So because Soul won 2 matches and Ufilmer had won 1 match, Soul advanced in second place. But however, for Harstam and Puck, where Harstam had won 1 match and Puck had just drawn all of his matches, I decided it wasn't fair to eliminate players based on who they lost their maps to, basically. So we decided to play a tiebreaker for Harstam and Puck. So that's how we're going to continue. That's the only That's the only difference. Like, it's basically like if they're going to get eliminated, we'll play a tiebreaker. If they're both going to advance anyway, we'll just do the match thing, which is again not ideal, but it makes much less of a difference compared to straight up being eliminated from the tournament, right? So that's kind of our plan. That's kind of the plan. I know it's confusing. Just roll with it. Just trust me, it works. It basically means, like, you know, players, if they're going to get eliminated, they're like, oh, hell yeah, I'll play a tiebreaker if it means getting eliminated. But if it means second or third place in the group, the player's like, well, you know, why play an extra best of 3? Like, we're pretty happy going through an either spot. So they didn't... It is a bit confusing, I know, but it just sort of is the logical choice on the organizer's end and the player's end of things. I need a drink already. Woo! Alright, quick drink for me. As we do see Ritual Mupi Temple. I mean, let's talk about this map a little bit. Top left side, Hellraiser. Obviously, his main base, I mean, it's a pretty regular map when it comes to kind of the layout of moving to a third. You can move forward base if you want. You know, you just expand through the top side, but it's these missile turrets. Now, if you've not been here the last couple of days, these are neutral missile turrets. They will shoot at anything in the sky, no matter who they belong to. They can be attacked and killed. Obviously, that generally doesn't happen until a later stage of the game. Yesterday, we saw Soul diving on it. Is this Overlord? Nope. Stephano, turn away. Does turn away. That missile turret just fluences where he goes here. So later in the game, you're probably going to see a lot of these being killed off. If we actually get to large armies, we've never actually seen it yet, but it is possible just to kill these off. And then it opens the map up more, whereas earlier in the game, it does just limit how careful you have to be. You can't fly straight across. I actually get confused about this map, though, because what stops you just flying around this side of the map? You know, it's still close by air, it's just you can't directly come out this way. It's weird. It's almost like this section of the main base is protected, but not this section from drops and harassment. So this one's a little bit weird, and again, I'm sad that we only saw it, we didn't see it all yesterday, because I think it's one of the ones we need to see a couple of times to really start figuring out what it looks like, how it plays, you know, how players generally are going to approach the map and the neutral missile turrets. So a little bit interesting as we do see this Phoenix grabbing an Overlord kill on the upper left side of the map. A couple of Zerglings heading up through the center to just keep vision of what's going on at the moment. So they're just looking to see what's happening. And at the same time, we do see the Phoenix and the Oracle will come across here just to try and obviously do that typical Phoenix Oracle thing of harassing. Nothing too crazy. Alright, so the Phoenix going to get pushed back just a little bit here. And the Oracle along with it. And we do just see a couple of Zerglings from Stephano are just still gathered to the top side. This Phoenix and Oracle combo just thinking about where they might want to go next. And obviously deflected pretty nicely from the main base. Maybe just going to look for another base. Ah! Hellraiser. Stephano was watching apparently, and he saw this going down. Phoenix and Oracle lost to the turrets every single day. This is, again, I mean, it sparks some discussion, these missile turrets, because I feel like they use too much at the moment. I actually think it'd be really cool if there's 1 or 2, so they were less punishing. Feels Soul, man. You can't defend his third base because of it, man. That's really unlucky. Into game number 2. Top left-hand side, our blue Zerg is Stephano, picking up his first point of the day on Ritual Mupi Temple. As to the top right-hand side, the red Protoss player from Wolven is Hellraiser. I think they're called Wolfslayer, is the official name, just Wolven their clan tag. Yeah, the thing is, I think that, so I didn't really get much of a chance to talk about the neutral missile turrets, but the neutral missile turrets for me, I really feel like if there was one, there was two, it could have an effect on the earlier stages of the game. It could be cleared out later and change the map as the game progresses and they get cleaned up. And it's not super punishing. Because if you fly into one, a pro player will be able to be like, oh my god, mistake, pull it away, right? So if you make that misclick, if you make that misrally, you have a chance to react. But when they're all stacked up like this, there's just no chance to react. Like, you make a mistake and boom, all of a sudden you have to like pull your units out of the way. You know, you have to, like, it's just over. Like, you're going to lose those units. And so that's what I don't like about it. Like, you can genuinely just make a small mistake here and get heavily punished for it. And at that point I'm like, well, why not just use, I mean, obviously, I like the idea of the turrets. I just think right now they're way too punishing with the numbers they're used in. And that said, we did have some feedback from some of the mappers, I believe, that said they submitted maps with less of the turrets on them so that they weren't as punishing, they weren't as impactful, but still had a nice little way to make the earlier game different, maybe change the way the game works at a certain stage once you could kill off the couple of turrets that block the pathways. But obviously that's something which didn't get brought into the maps that we actually see here, so unfortunately that didn't quite happen. So yeah, I mean, I really just think that the maps that were selected, I'm not saying they're bad maps, I'm just saying that I think the turrets would do better if there was just a few less of them, you know? If there was just a few less. Alright, so this is getting set up with a Stargate once again from our Protoss player. Alright, so I just gonna have to message all the players. Awesome, right. Just send out a couple of things. And getting ready to go. Perfect, awesome. So, just getting everything set up on the other side of things, a couple of admin issues, we just get things going. We saw this Overlord having a little bit of a fight with this air blocker here. Sorry for the few moments of silence. We see a couple of queens come off to the right-hand side of this base. Just going to be hunting for those Oracle coming over. Again, these bases are close by air. Stasis comes in from the Challenge 2, the Challenge 1 section of the map pool list here. Challenge 1 being to kind of build bases which are closer by air than they are by ground. It's kind of funny though, because a lot of these maps basically just look like Challenge 2 maps without the turrets. So it's interesting. Yeah, PK in the chat is one of the map makers who's in the finals of the TLMC and says the RMT is basically just lack of very good use, and the best use was either to, you know, have a few to force watch or to, you know, have a murder block of them. And the murder blocks are the ones we're seeing, and again, I just don't really feel the murder blocks do the murder blocks kind of, I don't know, I just don't really see the murder blocks kind of being super amazing so far, you know? Alright, so we're gonna get this game going. Is just following the Oracle for the moment. Oracle just hiding off over to the left-hand side. A couple of depths heading over as we get this, again, this just initial stage of the game set up and rolling. Sorry guys, I just need a moment to fix something again. Ay, ay, ay. I'm just terrible at multitasking. So Lings show up on the third base, and this time, I mean, this is where the Oracle is meant to be here to come and defend it, but not quite happening just yet. Meanwhile, across the map, the Archon drop is getting going, so Hellraiser a little bit preoccupied with this, and that's why he's allowing the little bit of a Ling run by to get a little bit of damage done. So far, I mean, some little bits and pieces going down. You see those Lings. Not going to be, I mean, they shouldn't get cancelled. Some Zealots warping in. Here comes the Oracle, so it definitely will be a hold in the end. It's definitely been annoying. With more Lings heading over, I mean, this Oracle only has so much energy. 36, and it has to reactivate Pulsar Beam as well. As you see those Lings coming forwards, and they're going to get us around. Those Zealots trying to keep on fighting. The Archons are still just over here. Nexus will finish. I mean, the Zealots have actually traded okay. The Oracle's starting to run out of energy. A few more Zealots should be able to clean this up and should be able to keep Stephano from kind of getting rid of this base. If he really needs to, the Archons could be heading back here as well. And Immortal comes out too. Immortal's pretty tanky as well in this situation. I think this should again be a cleanup. Although Stephano's still just spamming Lings across the map. They do have +1 melee, so they're pretty scary. They're, you know, they're pretty, they do a lot of damage very quickly. Hellraiser just set up here. By the way, this is a little bit of a pathway between the bases. If you ever get a chance to make, you know, deal 8,000 damage to rocks, you can make your way through this, without too much of an issue. I say like 8,000 damage is nothing. Lings are going to try and jump on this again. Oracle is again still out of energy. 2 more High Templar warping. Will look to become Archons, but are they going to be Archons in time? This Immortal now already being surrounded once again. Phoenix is picking off Overlords. These Archons holding the Watchtower. That Immortal will go down, but the Archons will finish. So again, the Archons can defend this. Stephano's thrown a lot of units into... he's thrown a lot of units into... defending, into attacking this, and obviously he's getting some progress made against his opponent's army, but his worker count hasn't been progressing in this time, so only just now heading to 70 workers. And one thing that Hellraiser hasn't done is lost any probes, so in that regard, Hellraiser's actually been pretty okay, as he now has extra Archons on the map to defend, so this becomes a lot more stable. The Warp Prism has brought these Archons back home too. Looks as though he's just going to go full on defensive mode now. And as you see, this Warp Prism still just having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. +2 melee attack upgrade is about 75% of the way done. Nexus will be placed on the right-hand side. A pylon or 2 will be added on as well. So a couple of pylons just being brought into play here as the Warp Prism will move forwards and look to pick off a couple of these Zerglings. I mean, again, if the Archon drop can just get a little bit more done, that's always going to be a nice little positive here. You see these Archons continue to deal a little bit of damage. Getting quite a bit done for the moment. Having a pretty decent time of it. Now they're going to be pushed away though. And we do have that Carapace upgrade coming in from Stephano. After +2 melee, I mean, you can't go into any further upgrades without the Hive Tech. Stephano pure Ling Bane, by the way. No Hydralisk Den or anything. It's just pure Ling Bane right now as he continues to move around the map. I was just watching the end of his stream, or not the end of his stream, but the end of a ladder game he was playing on stream before he got here today. So Hellraiser will just pause quickly, it seems. But, yeah, he was playing pure Ling Bane there too, so obviously just the style that he enjoys to play. As we do have this quick pause. Hey, I'd just like to apologize very quickly for my own little bit of incompetence here. Again, just being a little bit quiet now and then. We're just fixing up a couple of issues on other matches and so on. And that's why I do fall quiet just now and then. Maybe the camera doesn't move with the action. Do just want to apologize for that. It gets a lot smoother after this matchup, actually, because then we don't have to worry about 2 matches happening at the same time, and then it's all good. Lings and Banes crashing in, though, and these Archons are going to try and make the stand with the shield battery and cannon. More Zealots warping in on the high grounds. The extra Banelings, though, that are just going to be so terrifying here. I mean, there is those Archons still across the map. That's the issue, the fact they're not at home to help defend. And without those, well, there might just not be enough for Hellraiser, who's now lost 24 workers. GG. Stephano will take game number 2.